Number 2 on our level list is the Ocean Stage, home of Launch Octopus from Mega Man X1. This was another really tough choice, but if Storm Eagle is the prime candidate to showcase how good boss fights in X1 can be, I think the Ocean Stage does a pretty good job of highlighting the levels. The entire US box art for X1 features basically every great element from this stage, so I think that right away is a good indicator that we're in for some really cool stuff. The high quality of this level is made from a blend between its music, movement, enemies, and how well it showcases X's special weapons. As always, the music will just be playing through the episode, so I'll go ahead and trust that that point is being made for me. So, moving appropriately right into movement, let's go over how good everything about this stage feels. Traditionally, water levels have a reputation for being some of the worst parts of otherwise great games. Not X though. Not only does moving underwater in this stage not feel hindered in the slightest, but you arguably feel more mobile because of it. Rather than swimming, X gains a low gravity effect, allowing him to make lengthy gliding jumps without losing any of his tight air control. This makes maneuvering around in its own right really fun and satisfying. It also sets a standard not only for the remainder of the underwater stages in the X series, but for the franchise in general. There have been some off-putting parts later on, like the pacing in Tidal Whales stage, but the movement always feels good and fun, which is a huge step above other generally reviled water stages. Taking a generally hated mechanic and making it really enjoyable is already a huge plus, but movement isn't much on its own. Luckily, the Ocean Stage is home to a wide variety of really cool mechanoids to fight. While no stage in X1 feels particularly devoid of good enemies, Octopus manages to recruit some of the most unique. At base level, we have Amenhoppers and Megatortoise almost right away. We've seen them before, but they feel really at home here. This stage also introduces Sea Attackers and Gulpfurs, which manage to swarm much like you'd expect hostile sea life to. Sea Attackers rip through the water in wide formations, giving little time to counter or evade. Gulpfurs, conversely, are slow, but have the ability to suck X in and attempt to eat him, greatly hindering his movement. They also move in schools, which allows them to harass X very effectively at times. Now, those mechanoids are cool, but what really shines in the Ocean Stage are the big enemies. Octopus's stage offers up a whopping 3 massive mini-boss type enemies, all entirely stage exclusive. Anglurge will halt X's progress, alter the water current by sucking him in or blowing him away, and bombard him with sea snake mechanoids. Anglurge is fought twice and becomes progressively more dangerous in its second area, where it can force X into precarious spike traps. Next is Cruziller, a large floating weapons platform designed after a whale. Cruziller will deploy Sky Claws and constantly flood its area with indestructible depth charges. It's unique in that it acts as more of a stage element or hazard than an outright enemy, and also directly interacts with the stage. By sinking Cruziller, it will crash through the ground beneath it and grant access to another mini-boss arena. It's rare for direct stage destruction on this scale, which, again, really manages to offer some satisfying gameplay. Finally, there's Uroboros, arguably the most iconic part of the stage. Uroboros acts as yet another mini-boss type enemy. X is capable of riding on its back while it moves around in order to combat it dynamically, making it one of the most interactive enemies in the entire game as a result. Like Anglurge, Uroboros is fought twice, once on the direct route near the end of the stage, and once below Cruziller's crash site. This one guards the stage's heart tank. And can I just take an extra moment to say that I really love Uroboros? Like, more than average. I have a thing for sea serpents, and it's just such an iconic design and a fun battle, even when you're savagely one-shot. Uroboros is actually cool enough to show up as a sort of Easter egg in Flame Mammoth's stage, as well as several times in later games of the franchise. X even got animated battling it and Launch Octopus as one of the best highlights in the animated X3 intro. But sorry to trail off there, let's move on. What makes all of these enemies even better is that they can be approached with such a wide variety of X's weapons that each encounter manages to highlight completely different gameplay. Storm Tornado makes quick work of the enemies on the shoreline, as well as dealing massive damage to Uroboros. Rolling Shield's Charge Shot makes blowing past the swarms of Sea Attackers completely effortless. Shotgun Ice does solid damage to the first Anglurge while simultaneously taking care of its Sea Snakes, while Electric Spark can be used to tank safely through the second one just a short distance after. And Cruziller is able to be sunk in seconds by Fire Wave, while easily fending off its Sky Claws in the process. If you play play in the same order that I do, this means that each special weapon obtained so far has a chance to shine in Launch Octopus's stage, which is so much fun. Combine that with excellent movement all throughout, with huge battle after huge battle after huge battle. It's rare that you get such a compelling reason to use so many different resources in any Mega Man stage, barring Fortress stages that sometimes require you to use everything you've got. So being able to really feel like an arsenal is it's just great. It's absolutely fantastic. And I really think this stage stays iconic as a result.